Made contact. I guess this is again a really simple and basic fact, but don't be intimidated by it. And I guess, hopefully this is kind of obvious, but I think especially in my role, it's quite easy to find these people quite scary. They have a huge amount of control over your destiny, which is quite weird, but it is not your job to know what they know. It's your job to be the champion of your brand, and it's your product. It's your job to have created something amazing, and to tell them about it and to tell them why it's so amazing. It's not your job to know everything about supermarkets, because that's their job. So if you don't understand stuff, and if you don't know what's happening, if you don't know what you're going to do next, just ask the question. They might not always be able to answer, but often they'll be able to put you in touch with someone who does. And that is totally normal. They'll talk to people all the time who are new to this. So they have a huge amount of materials they can push your way to help you navigate your way through it. It is complicated and they know that, but they want it to be easier for small businesses to get into this kind of area. So they will want to try and help you if they can. And then I guess if you get time with somebody and you get an opportunity to present your product, firstly, that's an incredible stage to have got to. It's huge success. Again, there is no rule book for this. There is no one particular thing you have to make sure you tell them. It is just about being true to yourself and your brand and your products and your story and telling that. I think I've put, a few points of things I would cover if you can. How you do that is totally up to you. If it's a presentation, if it's a recording, if you turn up and you build something physical in front of them, do whatever feels right, but don't be afraid to do a PowerPoint presentation if that's the best way to get your information across. Keep it short, but it's entirely fair and it's a useful way of giving information across, and it's totally expected. Things I think are great to cover is talk about yourself. Especially if you're a small business and you're coming in, the reason people buy this stuff is because it's really exciting and it's fun and it's different, and they want to hear about the story of how you came up with the idea and why you came up with that idea. They're all people, and everyone wants to engage with your product quite emotionally if they can. So give people the chance to do that. So tell them what happened and how it happened. Like, I guess when I think about Camden and some of the stories we tell about the guy who founded us, this guy called Jasper. He's an Australian guy. When he first came to London, he was on his gap year. He was actually meant to be flying home to Australia to start uni. He basically went out on a night out in a pub, got drunk and missed his plane, and then had to make the money back to be able to try and buy another plane ticket to go home. So he got a job in the pub that he was drinking in. And that is basically the whole story of what started his love affair of drinking British pubs and kind of making his own brewery. So it's all the little things like that they're just fun and they're nice things, and they bring a personal touch, which from somebody like the likes of Cadbury, a massive business, they can't do that. So it's really great if you can. Obvious, tell them about your product. What is it? Why is it special? What's your brand? What's it doing? Tell them why it will sell. And I guess I've put here kind of thinking about trends it will tap into. That sounds like something that you need a load of data to do. That's not the case. A lot about the trends that are in the world at the moment. Maybe there's something where people are trying to eat more healthily, or they're trying to drink less, or they want something special on a Friday night because they can't go out anymore. So they want something a bit more special to have at home. Maybe they want to cook, but they don't want to do all the prep. So they want to buy something that's half prepared. All the stuff you're already doing is probably a lot of the stuff the whole nation is thinking about. So you can back it up with a bit of data if you can, but if you can't, it's fine, because all of your buyers will have all that data telling them that this is true. But having said that, I guess if you've got numbers and you've got some data, that's great. Always use it if you have it. Even if it's just one shop and one case study, it's useful. And then finally, the reality is you're going to talk to a lot of people and you're going to want all of them to take your brand. But if you can make them feel like they're not the 50th person you've talked to probably that day, then that's great, because it makes them feel a bit more special. So something that we used to do at Camden often was kind of have a slide which would put us on one side and the customer on the other, and just say why we thought we were a great fit. So for something like Waitrose, they sell lots of premium products. We're a premium brand. They care about the origin of where their brand stuff comes from. We get all of our malt from one place because we always want to know about the quality of it. Just things like that they're pretty obvious, but they just show that you've given it a bit of thought and that you're not just rolling out the same presentation for the 20th time, even if you are.